Hi, my name is Mike Boone, and I am the Director of Adaptive Sports Iowa. Thanks to the generous support of Variety, the children's charity of Iowa, we're able to bring you this adaptive track and field instructional series. Adaptive Sports Iowa is proud to help athletes all around the state of Iowa compete in their junior high and high school teams. Our goal is that these videos will help coaches and athletes understand adaptive track and field and become confident in their equipment. If you would like more information, please visit our website, adaptivesportsiowa.org. And thank you for your time. All right, so we're going to talk about setting the compensator. So the way the racing wheelchair operates is it needs to be able to go and around the curves of a track if you're doing either the 200 or the 400 meter races. Now, you have to stay in your lanes to do that, and it's kind of tough if you're pushing with the push rims in the back wheels and you're not able to steer the front. The way that they compensate for that is they developed a thing on here called a compensator. So what the chair essentially does is it's able to hold a curve depending on what curve or what angle you are. The trick is, however, every track and every lane on every track is at a different angle. So you've got to be able to adjust your chair accordingly for each race you're going to be in. So it's important for you to understand or know which lanes you're going to be in prior to a race starting, because you need to have access to the track to be able to set the compensator to make sure your chair is going to be functioning correctly while you're on the curve. So real quickly, let me show you how to do this. So underneath, on the bottom side of the chair, you've got this component right here, okay? And it looks differently depending on what kind of chair you have, but typically it's this triangle shaped portion. And then you've got two adjusting knobs on each side. What these do is it basically sets the angle of the chair, and you can adjust this in or out so you can make the curve tighter or make it less tighter, okay? So if it's pushed to the right, like it is here, it's set for straight, okay? So once you hit the straightaway, theoretically, it should hold a fairly straight line, okay? When you get a new chair, you need to be able to adjust that, and once that's adjusted, you pretty much never need to check it again, as long as you're always able to hold a straight line. On the opposite side here, on this knob, that's going to adjust the angle of the curves you're going through. So this is the part where you need to focus on between each race. If you know let's say you're going to be in lane 2 for the 200 and lane 4 for the 400, you need to be able to adjust accordingly for each individual race. So let me show you how to do that. You might have a lot of different ways of doing this. The one that I found works most effectively is what you want to do is you want to set the compensator or set the angle on the inside line of your lane. So if you're going to be in lane 2, it's going to be the line that separates lane 1 and lane 2, okay? So Jordan, let's go ahead and line up, and you're right down the center. So what you want to do is you want to set the chair so it's right down the center of the line between the lanes, or the inside line of the lane that you want to be able to, so let's line up right on the line. Okay. So as a coach, I'm going to help adjust them here for a little bit, but this is something theoretically they should be able to do independently at some point, okay? So I'm going to pick this wheel up and just adjust them a little bit. It's important to know, however, when you're moving these chairs, especially when there's someone in them, you need to be very, very cognizant of how you're doing it, okay? The way these chairs are designed, the back wheels are angled out or cambered. So what that means is it's designed like that to be stable and be able to make those turns easily. However, if you pick them up by this front wheel, all of a sudden now those wheels are not facing this way, they're facing this way. And if you start moving them, that's going to add a lot of torque onto the wheels, and you could potentially pull one of those tires off. So we don't want to do that, and just for safety reasons. So if I'm going to adjust this, I'm not going to pick this tire up for more than maybe a centimeter, okay? So I'm noticing right now he's a little bit off to the side, so I'm just going to adjust him here to make sure he's down the center. Go ahead and set the compensator for the turn, okay? I'm looking down the back, so the line's going right down the center. All right, so if I'm going to give him a push here, just a slight push, keep your hands up so we don't touch him. All right, a slight push. That tire should hold the line if it's set correctly. And it looks like it's a little flat still, so we're going to back him up to that same position. So right now this chair is set so it's going to be a little bit wider than it needs to be. So that wheel needs to move a little bit to the left, okay? And what that means is this limiter, we need to back it off. Because if we back it off or turn it left, it's going to make the angle more aggressive. If we turn it right or push it in, it's going to make the angle a little less aggressive. So we need to back off just a little bit, okay? So back that off. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, I'm going to push him forward. It should hold that line a little bit better. Yep. All right, so I would say that compensator is pretty well set. Now keep in mind, the chair direction is going to be set beyond just what you're doing with the compensator. The athlete is going to adjust how they turn, depending on how hard they're pushing on each side. So for example, if you're noticing that your athlete is starting to drift to the left, that means they're pushing a little bit harder with their right arm than they are their left arm. Likewise, if they're starting to push to the right a little bit, that means they're pushing a little bit harder to the left. Sorry, a little bit harder with the left, and they're going to be moving to the right. Very, very important to understand this. Though these chairs are designed that you can actually turn them like this, avoid doing that while you're going on a race, because here's the thing. As you notice, the forks are moving. The forks are angled out very, very aggressively. So if you adjust it just a little bit, it's going to really move that chair off to the side. So this chair is not really designed to be steered with the steering column during a race. You want to make those little adjustments during a race with the push of the rim right here. So again, if he starts drifting to the left, you need to start pushing a little bit harder with the left arm, so to speak. All right?